Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with my preview of this year's Chinese Grand Prix. Obviously this year's calendar's been mixed up a little bit. Obviously China always seems to be before Bahrain, but now it's afterwards, and also Malaysia has been put back to near the end of the season. Malaysia, obviously, I always, when I think of the start of the season, I always think of Australia and then Malaysia and China, being those first three races normally. But they've switched up the calendar a bit this year, and the Chinese Grand Prix is third and nowhere near the Malaysian Grand Prix. Anyway, I should probably get to the point of the video, which is a preview of this year's Chinese Grand Prix. And who goes into this as favourite? Well, it's kind of a tough one. I mean, when I think of the Chinese Grand Prix, I always feel that it's a track where it always throws up different winners. I mean, the last few years have been obviously pretty impressive in terms of not having the same victory winner each and every year. I mean, I remember obviously Alonso back in 2013. Obviously Hamilton won this race. I think it was last year. Rosberg won this race in 2012. Vettel won it, didn't he? At some point, was it 2010? Button in 2009 or something like that. So it's thrown up a lot of winners down the years. But let's be honest, when we look at this racetrack, what can we say? It's got a massive long straight which we're driving down right now, which obviously will be helping the Mercedes power unit cars. But saying that, they haven't had as big an advantage, if at all, this year. I mean, I think the whole engine debate's really coming to a close. I think all of the teams are a lot closer than last year, especially. So I think it's getting to a point with the engine debate. It doesn't really matter what engine you have now. It's basically what car you have. Maybe I'd even say Ferrari are slightly lagging behind in terms of their engine. We'll see, obviously, here in China with the practice session starting on Friday. But I'm looking forward to this one. Can Rosberg take 3 in a row? Can he beat Hamilton's record of consecutive wins? I mean, it would be pretty impressive if he can do so, but I'm not too sure. I mean, Rosberg in the past, he got his first Grand Prix win here in probably a Mercedes, which probably wouldn't have won that Grand Prix in my opinion. I think the McLarens on that day at least probably were a bit faster, but Rosberg drives out of his skin in 2012 and gets that Grand Prix win, if I remember correctly. So who knows? I mean, personally, I'd like to see Rosberg go ahead and get this one. I mean, obviously, Hamilton's won. He's a lot of championships now. I mean, he's just dominant in terms of Formula 1 nowadays. Obviously, he's won 3 championships, 2 on the trot. And I would like to see the mould broken. I would like to see Nico Rosberg take the victory in China and sort of win the championship. But I know I probably shouldn't be sort of biased in terms of that. But in the realistic terms of things, I do think Hamilton's going to make a fight back this weekend. I think Hamilton, after the last few Grand Prix where obviously he's had mistakes and problems, I think he's going to fight back here in China. I think he's going to win this Grand Prix. I honestly feel the Mercedes will be the best car once again, but I do feel Ferrari have a chance. I mean, especially if they make some great pit strategy calls like they did last year. They have a chance, especially around this track, which, if I remember correctly, is quite high degradation because of a lot of the fast, high-speed corners. So we could see maybe a different strategy from one of the Ferraris, maybe mix it up a little bit. That would really be good. But if we look at history, obviously, last year especially, it wasn't actually too bad for the Ferraris. I do think they've got a chance here. I mean, there wasn't that much of a gap. I mean, we look at the final race results. Rosberg was less than a second behind Hamilton at the end. Vettel was less than 3 seconds behind Hamilton, and Raikkonen finished less than 4 seconds behind Hamilton. There must have been obviously a bit of a late safety car there, but still, that's not that bad. I mean, to be perfectly honest, that's pretty close stuff. I mean, if we look at, Grosjean was less than 20 seconds behind the leader in his Lotus last year, obviously, which was a pretty rubbishy car. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ferrari mix up something here. Maybe we could see Williams come back. I mean, they haven't exactly the greatest first few races. Maybe this could be Williams' chance to get a podium. Obviously, we've known for the last few years that Williams have been pretty good in a straight line. They've many a time been at the top of the speed chart. So maybe we'll see maybe we'll see Ferrari off the podium for once. I mean, maybe Williams can finally get another podium. I don't know when the last time they got a podium was, but it seems like a long time ago. So, in my opinion, the top 5 will be looking something like Hamilton, Rosberg. I mean, probably Vettel, to be perfectly honest, and then I'd say probably Bottas probably to finish ahead of Raikkonen, and then Massa to be in there as well. I mean, it's probably going to be those guys once again. But saying that, Williams haven't been too great this year. And maybe we'll see someone else. I mean, Red Bull haven't been too bad this year. I mean, that disguised Renault power unit really hasn't been doing too badly for them. But yeah, I do think Ricciardo's going to have a challenge on his hands here, especially with that straight line speed. I do think the Williams will be faster, but then I suppose the middle sector is quite high speed. I mean, you know, there's quite a lot of, well, high speed in corners, I should say. So maybe we'll see the Ferrari and the Williams struggling through there. Maybe we'll see the Red Bulls really doing quite well through there. So maybe Daniel Ricciardo and obviously Daniel Kvyat could have a decent chance of some good points here. Obviously, Kvyat needs to make up for lost ground that he lost in Australia and fight his way through the field in Bahrain, but I do think Ricciardo's had a really good, solid start to the season. If I remember correctly, he's where is he in the I think is he fourth or fifth place in the championship, something crazy like that. And I'm not going to discount Haas either from getting some more points. I do think, you know, it's a bold prediction here. I think both Haas cars will be in the points, barring any accident. You know, it's kind of crazy, but, you know, let me know what you guys think. Do you think we'll see maybe a Haas in the top 10 or two Haas in the top 10? I mean, let's hope so at least. I do feel that would be great for the sport to have, you know, 3 races in a row. A brand new team comes in and scores points. You know, will he go even better, Grosjean? What was he's finished 6th and 5th? Can he go to 4th? Maybe 3rd on the podium, going for the race win? Okay, let's not get too excited, but. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm not too sure when the Grand Prix actually starts. I'm assuming... Oh, dropped my mouse. I'm assuming this is an early race once again, so I might be able to watch it before work. Let's hope so, fingers crossed at least. And let's see what we can do in the race. I mean, obviously the qualifying format has changed. That's something we do need to talk about. Qualifying system going back to the old one. Obviously, we all wanted it to happen, and it finally did. Thank you, FIA, for listening to us. And that'll be obviously on the Saturday. So hopefully, qualifying can be a bit more exciting once again. The knockout system, well, it probably was worth a try, but it really did miserably fail. So thankfully, the FIA have used their common sense and have gone back to the old system. But yeah, that's it for my review, guys. Let me know who you think is going to finish top 5 in this race. It's been Alex Maddy. Goodbye.